regarding transportation. We have major issues regarding parking. We have issues regarding the business community. We had issues related to people getting paid a living wage. So sometime last year, early last year, I went to the Commissioner Seth Pinsky, and because there was a stalemate. There was a stalemate between the borough president and the mayor of the city of New York. And I thought that this is too much of a very important location and strategic place for development, economic development to take place in our community, and for it to stay empty. I'm the one who started this project for moving forward. I met with the Commissioner of Economic Development, and the Commissioner and the Borough President came on board to move forward, and I'm so glad to have served as a catalyst and to serve as a bridge for this project to move forward. We met here last and I stood there in support of having this project, but with conditions. We were in negotiations. There were outstanding, very important issues in which I was willing to, because we had an issue with city planning, that if we didn't get it done by that Tuesday, that the project will have not gotten done on time. So I took the steps, and I took a step of faith, to be honest with you, of goodwill, to be able to say, look, I'll support this project, but we have outstanding issues that we still have to deal with, and we're gonna work together. I was promised by all sides, by all the key people, that we were gonna work in these issues. A month after that, tried to re-engage. We had tried to re-engage since then. And unfortunately, you know how these projects often come to the 11:59 hour, to the very, very end. I don't like it. It puts a tremendous amount of pressure on all the parties. But we have some outstanding issues, and let me give you what those issues are. We have a parking problem. We have a parking problem right now.
That's right.
I said this right now. Look, there is no parking right here. Now you're gonna put a project here that I'm happy about. Please, I want you to talk about this. That I am happy about this. I got this project started, but it has to be done right. And we have traffic, very important traffic issues here. And as you can see, we got traffic right now. We have parking issues. The parking situation is there's only 450 parkings. They've taken away all of this parking you see right here. And the plan, all of the parking, which many of you have parked in the other side. I have parked there. By 8 o'clock at night, you won't find a parking available. As a matter of fact, that's the overflow. I call it the overflow. That's the last place where you can find parking around here in the evening. And after that, good luck, or go and pay somebody, pay a parking lot where you could go. I'm trying to stop future problems from taking place. There's going to be a parking lot here, but people have to pay to go into that parking lot. We have and by the Kinect's own statement and Kara's own statements, this is a poor neighborhood. And if it's a poor neighborhood, and 4 years ago, the borough president himself said that the parking here should be free, and it's not going to be free. Therefore, we had to address this parking issue. We don't have enough parking.
That's right.
There's gonna be concerts here. 5,000, listen, a 5,000 sitting stadium they're gonna have inside. I don't know if you've ever been to a place with 5,000 people. I've been to churches where there's 5,000 people. I've been to concerts with 5,000 people. And imagine all those people trying to get in, first of all, or get out, and trying to find parking. You know what happens. You know what happens. The first place that people are going to go to is for the free parking in the street. They're not going to go for the inside parking. There's issues here where people are telling me, well, you know, there's only going to be a certain amount of people coming at a certain amount of time, that somehow they think that they can control the amount of people that are going to come at a certain time. That's not going to happen. That's totally unpredictable. Most people tend to come at the same time. You know, Friday night, if you want to come skating, which is going to be awesome to have here. We have Saturday night where people are going to come, maybe Sunday evening. We're going to have massive amount of people coming here, and especially those. 85% of the people coming here, they're not going to come from our neighborhood. 85%. I want you to think about that. 85%. And let me tell you where they're going to be coming from. They're going to be coming from Westchester County. I used to live in Westchester County. I know the mentality in Westchester County. And I can tell you that people are not going to take the Metro North to go down to 125th Street and to come back up in the Fortran with hockey equipment. That ain't happening. I want to keep it real. I've been trying to keep it real. And there's been so diversionary strategies to try to malign and defame my name. I find that offensive. I find it low grade, and for those who make assumption, may I say assumption is the lowest form of knowledge.
There you go. That's right. That's right. That's right. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido
jamás será vencido.
And I'm trying to stay to the real issues, that when all the hoopla is gone, after all of the maligning goes, and people say this and people say that, let me just tell you this. It's going to come down to these issues that we're talking about. Let me address the third issue, which is the business community. Right now, on the CBA, the Community Benefit Agreement, we don't have the Kingsbridge Business Association getting a penny, not a dollar. We have 250 businesses in this community, which many of them have been here 20 years, 10 years. Some of them, their business have been passed down to the third generation. They have worked hard. Landlords right now, what they're doing, because the business community have come to me and they say, Councilman Cabrera, we have a huge problem here. Because before I was getting 5-year leases, 8-year leases, 10-year leases. Now they're getting month by month. There's something fundamentally wrong with that. There's something wrong with that. And so they're going to need funding to be able to deal with these issues, including having lawyers. And that's not cheap. There's $250,000 right now that is going to a nonprofit organization that deals with nothing with bids. They have absolutely no experience with bids, with business improvement district. They have no experience dealing with this type of scenario. And yet, right here in our community, with Mashula Preservation, they have experience. And so if that needs to be the conduit, that will be great. Or even better, why not give it straight to the people who are doing the work? They have an association, and cut out the middleman. Cut out the middleman. We need to cut out the middleman and to cut out all of these layers of bureaucracy or operational costs. Let's stop doing it like the government does it. You know, there's a lot of layers of bureaucracy. Let's have a simple, straight up, common sense type of approach to what we're trying to accomplish here. And so we are in negotiations right now. We're running out of time. The council members I have spoken to, the vast majority of them right now, all of them with the exception of one right now, all of them have stood with me. And I want to say to the Bronx delegation, thank you so much for standing with me. I want to say to Brooklyn, to Queens, to Staten Island, and to Manhattan. Thank you for standing with me. And just like I have stood with them, they're gonna stand with me. And so I'm looking forward, listen, I'm looking forward to getting this project done, but process is as important as product. As a matter of fact, if you want a good product, let's deal with the process. Point an example is Yankee Stadium. They still, listen, for years, outstanding issues. Why? Because you didn't have a good CBA, you didn't have good agreements, you didn't have good terms that could have been better, and it took a lot of effort, a lot of energy, and I'm trying to stop all of that before we have to get there. Why not do it right, have the right structure now, and deal with this unmitigated issues we have, even by the developer's own report. We find that there are at least 8 unmitigated issues regarding traffic that have not been dealt with. At this moment, I'm going to ask Bishop Rodriguez, who represents the largest chaplain association. He's also a pastor here in the Bronx. And if there's any other pastors here, I want to acknowledge you. All of the pastors, how many pastors do we have here? Pastors. Thank you. Community leaders, acknowledge, thank you for being here. And so appreciate you being here. But let me turn it over to Bishop Rodriguez.
Councilman, we thank you for the work that you're doing. We thank you for your effort. And we are just here to let you know that we support you 100%. And we're supporting this community. And I stand here with the clergy members. I stand here with community leaders. I stand here with concerned neighbors that are saying enough is enough. We're not going to tolerate them just throwing something in our community and then leaving it to chance and see what's going to happen. We elected a good leader in this community, and this council member Cabrera that has led very well the last 4 years.
Give it up. That's right.
And so we trust his judgment, we trust his knowledge, we trust his ability, and we stand 100% with you, council member, and know that we are with you, and we're going to win this fight for this community. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm going to open up for just a couple of questions with the press, and then, it's cold out here. The press, if we want to talk privately, we could do that. But any questions from the press? Yes.
Can I just ask what winning the fight would be?
Winning the fight would be getting what's due to the community. Winning the fight would be making sure that that benefit agreement, that community benefit agreement, it's intact, it's right, it benefits the community, not just the developers, not just Cara, not just the people that have been trying to get some money out of this, but the community at large. Like we said before, we know the issues. I'm not going to go over it again. Look, we're standing here for a little while. Look how crazy the traffic is here. We need parking. We need it to be free. We need the people from the community to be part of this. We need them to be part. We need them to have access to the Kingsbridge Armory.
Right.
Ice skating, that's another question.
Cara was in multiple groups over time.
Let me explain you that the Cara group that is on right now is not. You know full well it's not the same one 4 years ago. You don't see no unions involved in that Cara group, which was the vast majority of people who used to come to rallies. Look, I just asked, this is just a 3-day notice right here. Look at how many people. I've seen events from the people on the other side who come for weeks and, they didn't have what we have. The fact is, people in our community are very, very concerned. And if you want groups, we have the groups that are here right now, people who live here, people who came here, people from the rest of the Bronx also as well. But look, let me just share one more thing. Piece of information, point of clarification. A lot of those people on the CBAs, the road to CBA, they basically said to them, here, sign it. And they didn't have no time to review what was in there. The Kingsbridge Business Association did not. And you can go talk to the president and the vice president, which are working right now. They're working right now, trying to make a buck. trying to make a living, and they will tell you that they brought them to them. They say, here, sign it. Say, well, listen, I'm just not going to sign anything. They're business people. They're wise people. It's a contract. Say, and they said to them, I'm not going to sign it unless I get an opportunity to read. They said, if you don't sign it right now, you're not going to be in it. There's something very deceptive about that approach. There's something fundamentally wrong. The way it was brought about, and as a result of that, look at what we have today. And so, but let me just say again, I'm hopeful. I want this, but I want it to be done right. Why? Right is right. Yes, pass that. I'm sorry. It's okay. Gary.
Why now? The CBA has been available for months and months and months. There have been any number of other. You didn't speak at. You didn't even appear at the community board. Why today? 2 days before? Isn't that as pressurized on council members who have to vote as it was on people who were asked to sign a
Gary,
CBA?
thank you so much. Good question. The fact is, number one, my staff was in that meeting. My chief of staff was at the community board. And sad about the community board process, which, by the way, the subcommittee have voted against it. And they're the ones who deal with the land use because they knew some of the issues that we're dealing with here. Second of all, a lot of the people in the community didn't get to speak that night. And it's sad. They should have it all open into the last person who had an opportunity to write. And third, let me just share one more thing, Gary, because I'm going to answer your question.
Great.
Third of all, hundreds of people wrote in opposition of this project because some of the issues that we're dealing with here. But you got to understand, Gary, and you know me, I've been pursuing them to deal with these issues early on. The reason why we're here right now is not because I did not want to sit down. I've been wanting to sit down. I've been knocking in that door, and now we're in the 11:59 hour. And unfortunately, I don't know why. Maybe they thought that I'm going to wear it down. But I'm here to represent the community. I'm a person of conviction, and we're going to stick to principle and not to popularity.
That's right.
Which groups are represented with you here today?
Yes, go ahead.
I just want to know what kind of concrete solution would you want to see in this with regards to parking? And you already talked about the business side, but what about parking? What exactly do you want to see?
That's a good question. What we need is more parking space. They need to either.
But there's really not enough parking space to begin with. Are you saying you want to?
Either inside, they're going to have to.
Free parking for the community.
Look, they have to either build inside, expand how many cars could go there, or just like somebody just wisely just mentioned right now,
sketching
give
for the area
free parking,
drivers.
because you're taking parking from the community. And so, it hurts the community when you try and take away something that is already in scarcity. There's a famine of parkings in this area. I'm going to close it right now, but I'll talk to you in part. I know they're freezing, and I want to thank you, community, for coming so quickly.
That's right.
And I'll give you this promise. We're going to get this thing right, and we're going to do it right, because at the end of the day, this is for you and for the rest of our community. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.